Distinct winds are blowing in Nepal for a return to the monarchy. Amid a growing undercurrent of public dissatisfaction with political parties and the republic, massive protest marches in Kathmandu mark an emerging collision course between pro-royal family and anti-monarchy voices. And this comes exactly 24 years after the shocking palace massacre that virtually wiped out Nepal's royal family. Here's a deep dive into what's been happening in Nepal.
Kathmandu hasn't seen anything like it in decades. Tens of thousands of people demanding that the abolished monarchy be restored. That former King Gyanendra Shah be made head of state. Noises that began in March with the Rashtriya Prajatantra Party have grown manifold. 44 groups including political parties and civil society organizations have signed up. Notable leaders include Nawaraj Subedi, an 86-year-old former Panchayat politician, and Durga Prasai, a former Maoist guerrilla turned royalist. Many of these people are those who had aggressively backed removal of the monarchy a couple of decades back.
In the past, I was also wrong. I too went out onto the streets to dethrone the king. But back then, I was not thinking logically. My mind was blocked. Now I have realized that the king is far better than the Republican leaders.
That doesn't mean the other side has faded away completely. Far from it. Just a few hundred meters away from the pro-monarchy protesters, CPN UML workers and supporters of Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli had gathered to celebrate Republic Day. Hundreds of riot police ensured that the two groups were kept apart, as the non-monarchists insisted that this was a mere flash-in-the-pan protest.
The return of monarchy is just a daydream, and this will never come true. There is no possibility of bringing back king. This was endorsed by over 2 million people, and if a few thousand people are calling for the return of the monarchy, this is simply not possible.
Though long relegated to the political margins, the royalist camp has managed to seize upon growing disillusionment with the political establishment. Nepal has had all of 13 governments since it became a republic in 2008. That's 13 governments in 17 years. There's no end to the power games and political wrangling at the top. There are signals now of the voting public drawing the line on personal ambitions as the people gain little of the fruits of democracy. It's been a series of twists and turns on the nature of government in Nepal over the last few decades in particular. Nepal had been an absolute Hindu monarchy for 240 years. In 1990 though, after a series of mass protests, King Birendra agreed to transition Nepal to a constitutional monarchy, sharing power with an elected parliament. But people remained unhappy with the monarchy. The mid-1990s also saw the rise of the Maoist insurgency in Nepal. One of its leaders, Prachanda, went on to be Prime Minister. Crown Prince Dipendra, reported intoxicated, killed his family members before turning the gun on himself. Dipendra himself died 3 days later and Gyanendra, his uncle, became king, dissolving all political parties. Gyanendra imposed a state of emergency in 2005 to take control of the government. 7 political parties joined hands. Protests erupting demanded a complete end to the monarchy. Gyanendra bowed to pressure and reinstated parliament in 2007, and in 2008 the newly elected Constituent Assembly voted to abolish the monarchy. Nepal became a federal democratic republic. 17 years on, alongside a visible support for return of the monarchy, the political leadership rubbishes the idea, firmly calling monarchy a thing of the past in Nepal. But there's no refusing the fact that the winds are blowing, and stronger than when they first started in March. 17 years of political instability and corruption in Nepal are having their say. Is there another big twist coming?